So what type of businesses today use blockchain technology? Well, as you've seen from the video above, effectively blockchain technology is nothing more than the digitization of human trust. It's a really great thing to be able to remove a third party from a transaction in many of its instances. So in practical terms, it enables someone to be able to make sure something happened. It stops people being able to lie about certain events or actions. So as it stands, there are lots of companies out there that have been using this technology quite successfully. AXA Insurance have recently tested a network called the Fizzy network for automated flight compensation if you were to go on holiday. So for example, you take your family away and under EU regulation, you're entitled to compensation if the plane was 3 hours delayed. Now, if you were entitled to compensation, your plane was 3.5 hours delayed today, what would be the physical process of claiming back your insurance under normal conditions? You'd have to email the company, call them up, haggle a bit on the phone, email, back and forth. You know, it's expensive for the company to mandate that with staff. 6 weeks later, you might get a check in the post and it can be a bit of an arcane measure and also quite expensive for them, quite time consuming for you, not really a great solution. Under the new implications of the blockchain, one of the features of a particular blockchain on the Ethereum network is something called a smart contract, where if X happens, Y happens automatically. So in this example, if the plane's wheels don't leave exactly on time before that 3rd hour, you can instantaneously get paid with no human interaction whatsoever. A really great use of this technology that's quite easy for us to understand. There's also companies that are looking to put medical records on the blockchain, so you're able to have complete control of those. So perhaps you would own your own medical data, so that if a company wanted to use it for research, there might be the facility for you to get paid for that research. You might be able to share that data across different NHS and different medical trusts to help make sure the information doesn't get manipulated or lost in a drawer along the way. There are also really some practical applications for supply chain logistics. So let's say, for example, you ordered something from China, it left the company at this point, it left the ship at this point, it was set in sail for this point, it arrived in the UK at this point, got unloaded, went to the shop, and then the sell-by date of the item is this. All of those transactional records can be stamped on this blockchain, this data ledger, so that the entire process is transparent for all of us to see. As you can appreciate, this has many implications for food safety, different verification standards of product safety, many iterations of those things, and that continues to develop moving forward. Another use for the blockchain, which is continuing to develop over time, is that of asset transfer. So how do you take a real world item and put it on the blockchain? So why do we need an estate agent, for example? Ultimately, an estate agent is there to facilitate a trust between person A and person B doing what they say they're going to do. Simultaneously, we can now remove a lot of that on the blockchain. So if I created a Josh's house token, I was able to give that to you, that was public on the blockchain for everyone to see, then it would mitigate the need for a lot of the third parties that currently surround that transaction. So as you can start to see, the technology is growing, and that's ultimately why we have 5,000 different types of coins as it is at the moment. Those coins are not all trying to be forms of payment. There are many different types of coins for many different types of business services that I've explained here. And that's fundamentally why the underlying technology of blockchain is the really exciting thing here. Bitcoin simply just sits on top of that as one of the many products that use that technology base.